Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Ascension message. My name is Bobbie Richardson, and I will be your guide today. Okay, I just woke up, so excuse my eyelids. Any case, I'm really grateful to be here and with you guys and to bring through some more channel messages. Last night I was getting some, yesterday I was getting some, and it was all to do with stepping into, feeling into this new earth, and it's so cool. It's such a cool feeling. So I wanted to leave it open and see what was going to come through, as well as pick up on what they've already told me in the last couple of days. I do have a class coming up, and that will be the 15th of May because they're bi-weekly, and that class is now going to be on the mysterious world of the elementals. There is a lot of mystery surrounding the elementals. There's a lot of hidden stuff, and there's a lot that's going to be opened up for humanity and those ones who have done the work and start to connect to their intuition and their soul again. There's going to be so much opening up from the elemental world as well to connect us back to Gaia again, and opening portals, all sorts of fun, juicy things to be discovered there. Also, I want to bring in how to bring them in and that sort of stuff. So if you're interested in that class, that'll be the 15th of May, 7 a.m. AEST time, which is Brisbane, Australia time. And also, I am an intuitive counselor. Excuse me. So if you would like to have a one-on-one reading with me, I do soul readings. So I connect from my soul to your soul straight up. And then I feel into what's the next step for you, where you've got to go, where's the blocks, how you're moving forward, that sort of thing. And it's a real eye-opener sometimes, because the way that we've been programmed to believe is complete opposite of really what's going on. So yeah. Hey Sarah, good to see you. Any case, let's get into these channel messages as well. I'll grab my crystal here. I have this beautiful crystal that I hold on to while I channel through as well. Okay, so yeah. So one of the biggest things that's coming through, this alignment that we have with ourselves, with our soul, is literally going to open up this whole new experience of stepping into this new earth. The first thing that you will find for majority of people, I'm not saying anything that I say is not for everyone. Pick out of it what you need and leave the rest, because there's a bit of an audience. So, but what I'm feeling with most of the people that have done the shadow work is that they're telling me most of them are going to be connected through telepathy first, channeling first, and there's good reason for that. A lot of the empaths born at the moment, the reason why they are empathic is they're actually more in line with their intuition and their feeling, and that is the natural order of where humanity is going. So there's been many of us born into that, but when we're born into a world that is only to do with the outside world, it ends up, you feel victim to it, because you can feel everybody's thoughts, and then you're like trying to figure out which ones to hold on to, which ones to let go of. And it's not until you become mature enough to realize that with you creating your own path and your own steps into this world, into creating the path that you want, that you can see through them on a higher perspective, a higher level, a higher perception of awareness. So when somebody comes to you and they're angry or they're upset or they're victimized or something like that, then unless they're igniting something in you that needs to be healed, then you should be able to see them from an observer point of, oh, I see you for what you are. What you are acting out now is something that you are clearing or you need to clear. And so That's one thing. But so the empaths are very have been born now at the moment in great quantity because of the shift of humanity's consciousness now going into feeling through their life rather than looking at their life as an outside world only. So that in itself is just a great indication that there is a massive shift going on within humanity's consciousness. These are things that you're not going to find on the news or anything like that. These are things that are, sorry, I just got a bit of an eyelash on my eye. These are things, yeah, see, it's funny, like eyelash in the eye is like an interference in what we are seeing on the outside world. And then it's kind of like, yeah, anyway, as I'm talking about seeing the outside world, I get something in my eye. I'll just see if I can get rid of that. Excuse me. Sorry. Let's get back into this feeling because they are coming in at the moment. I can feel it. So yes, that's a great indication that this shift is absolutely happening. When you look at the world and how it's shifting, how everybody's been really reflected back with non-judgment as well. If we're judging, we're really looking at that too. People are starting to stand up for themselves and their uniqueness, kind of coming out the closet, so to speak. And now even though there's coming out of the closet as in you're a different sex than what you were born into, there's also coming out of the spiritual closet that's coming up as well, and not aligning with religion, but aligning with the truth of who you are as a soul, going on a journey, wanting to explore this world. And they are saying that as we're moving through this, because we're feeling into this new earth, instead of approaching it as something that we have to work at, when we're feeling into it, we are coming from a place of self-awareness of what feels good for you, and then the action comes after that, instead of the other way around, where I have a hole in my heart that I need to fix, or I have a hole in my my abundance or whatever that I need to fix. And so I'm going to just go out there and push hard and do that work and get that job done and do the 9 to 5 and save up all my money and go buy my house or go find that man or whatever it is. I'm going to search all outside of oneself. So instead we're bringing it back to feeling our way. Okay, I am aligning with myself in my heart where what I know I deserve, and then moving from that with that out to the world. And then the action will show up as you are feeling into that vibration. The action to do next will show up. Oh, I feel like calling blah blah. Oh, and then you meet them, and then they introduce you to somebody that's going to help you with a business, or going to help you with finding the love of your life, or whatever it is. I feel like it's a different way of looking at life, and then it's not controlled by somebody outside of us. It is coming from within out. Telepathy is going to be a big thing with this as well, because as we start to connect back to our soul again, we are feeling, and when we are feeling, we are connecting to other souls, and other souls can reside in dimensional spaces that we aspire to become. And so when we aspire to become entangled with that vibrational meet of those beings, then they can have there's a clear path that they can and they're saying entangle with you, communicate with you, and that opening that you have is then acknowledged by your logical brain of, okay, new information is coming in. It's not from somebody else's copy and pasted book or copy and pasted scenario or somebody else's YouTube or whatever it is. It's from my own understanding. And when they communicate with you, no matter how much I say to you, it doesn't matter in the respect of when you feel it, you totally understand it on a whole new level. You totally get it on a whole new level. I get these oh my God, aha moments, and then I try to speak them out to help you guys to understand where we're going. But to actually feel it yourself, and that's where you're truly going, is an absolute. There's an absolute that comes with that, and a wisdom that comes through feeling and vibrational meet. And then you get all of these pieces of these puzzles of who you are, uniquely are, authentically are, where your soul's been, what it can bring into this world, what it wants to share with this world. And that's all through letting go of that logical fear game that we've been playing. The logic will never know this information that's coming in. It will take the information and it will put it in a rightful place so that we can ground it. And that's the job of the logical mind. So these feelings into this new earth is where we're going. And with that, telepathy is a huge thing. When we are channeling, when we are telepathic, we are also acknowledging that those that are in front of us, that are coming from deception, we will see straight through that. They will say, because they've got away with saying something, and because you've not been connected to your soul or your feeling or your gut instinct, they get away with it because the universal language is telepathy, and that is all communication through feeling and understanding and wisdom. So when it's just a spoken word, which is just many grunts and groans, right? It's just little squeals and grunts and groans, really, put into a way that our logical brain can compartmentalize it into words where others understand. But it doesn't, but it's just that. Someone can speak whatever they want to speak, but they could be thinking and really, like, they could be saying to themselves, hey, I've got a fabulous idea. Come and join me with my business and, support my business. And you'll feel into them and go, oh, you still got a few blocks there. You've still got a few things to go before you get to that milestone. I can see you going on your path and you're nearly there, but you're not ready yet. So I'm not going to join you just now and invest in that until you've cleared out those blocks. Or if someone's wanting to become a leader, I can feel that you're not really ready to become a leader. You're just kind of becoming the leader because you want to control others underneath you, which makes you feel grander than life, which actually is just filling a hole in your heart of not feeling good about yourself. So when we're feeling into this new earth, when we're feeling into the new vibration of what's coming, it's a whole new story that develops through understanding, through wisdom, and that opens up many, many, many more gateways, because then we can feel into plant life, we can feel into animal life. And I know that I've brought this up with you guys before, but it's like it's becoming there's more consciousness coming, or tangible consciousness coming. The more I say it, the more it starts to become tangible in your minds, and the understanding of meeting that vibration within yourself. And then we are all the guiding light of our own reality, creating and carving a path of uniqueness on this planet. And we are moving through on this planet through adventure and exploration and freedom. And it is so not boring when you get there. It only feels like it would be boring to those that are still holding on to their logical mind and can't understand what comes with the interaction of your soul. Because when you're moving through feeling and vibration, it just feels enlightened. It feels euphoric. also they're telling me the ability to shift the story, the ability to shift your story, the ability to let go of a certain outcome, and you keep seeing the outcome coming up, and then it shows in another relationship or something, and you can literally, even though I know it's not easy, because you're feeling into that story and feeling into that story, and it feels worse and worse and worse, and then the mind starts to play the game. Oh my God, this is all happening again. And then what they're saying is, and what I know to be true, because I've done this myself, is to just take a deep breath in those moments and go, but what do I really want? What is my outcome that I really desire here? Okay, if I start to feel into what that outcome feels like, then that has to let go. That old story has to let go, because you're feeling into what you really want to create in your reality, and then you become it, and then everyone else starts to reflect that again, that story again, instead of the fear-based scenario that you were slowly moving into over the last, I don't know, a few days, weeks, hours, whatever it was. Hey Laura, hey lady, hey Cherie, hey Mary from Tennessee, hey Sky, good to see you guys. Yeah, so this newness that we're moving into, and the new vibration that we're moving into, is going to be a collective thing, but there's still going to be movement happening over a few years, because there are those that are waking up into this that are going to be the guides, and then there's those that are coming after, usually those that are hell codes, life after life, witches, warlocks, all that sort of stuff. And then after that, we've got majority of humans and stuff that are more awoken, and then that have been here a long time, not holding codes, but they are more awoken because they've had parents that had hell codes or something. And then we'll have, it's just going to be this progression that happens, because it's kind of like they're showing me, I wish I could show you, actually. I do have a picture. No, I don't have it handy. I have drawn this picture of our future way back in, I think it was 2006 or something, where it was an hourglass and a hand holding an hourglass, and at the top of it was a world, and then the hourglass gets skinnier, and then had this new world, and the top of it, where it was all crumbling in, was all the buildings, the skyscrapers and all that sort of stuff crumbling through. But to get through that, it had to all break up. The illusional story that we've been on, and everything is an illusion in its own right, because love is all that exists. But this story that we've just come through was crumbling, and I feel like that's literally what they're showing me, is that we are funneling through, but there's going to be those that are going to be holding on tooth and nail to the old story, because it is absolutely frightening to them as to what happens when they let go of the mind being in charge, of the logical mind being in charge. It is absolutely frightening to them to allow their intuition, which is the two parts of our brain, right, to let that have a say, equal parts, but to let that have a say, very frightening to them. So they will start to see people who have moved through into this new vibration, and they will see them as like observing them, and that they are very happy on this planet. We will be the shining examples of how we can walk this earth very happy, and how magic just kind of happens for us, how we align ourselves with the right people, the right circumstances and everything, how we're always seem to be one step ahead of the old program. That is what will be happening in the future. So this massive shift that's coming our way is all to do with that. Yeah. Laura, hi Bobby, read. Basically, letting go the ego is kind of like a Trump story. People holding on to the Trump, or will save 45. Okay, I don't know much about the Trump story. I'm from Australia and New Zealand, and I don't watch TV. Haven't watched TV for long time. In preparation for me becoming this. But each person, no matter who they are, has their own journey to go on. It doesn't matter if you are someone who is a leader at the moment or whether you are someone who's in the gutter at the moment. We have all got this journey that we have decided to go on as a soul in this body. So it is up to us only and how we feel about us only that we move into this new vibration. We cannot no longer look for, there is no savior apart from yourself, looking at yourself, your inner self, and working through your own emotions, your own feelings, understanding the feelings that are coming up, clearing that which doesn't suit the outcome that you really desire. Like as soon as you see something happening, it's not that you want to fight it because then you're fueling it. It is that, okay, that story in my head needs to change because everyone else outside is just your mirror. They are reflecting that story to you. And so if you want to change anything outside of you, then you need to change this story that is going on in your mind. And then you by changing that story, you're stepping into a new vibration. So yeah, it's really huge at the moment. Also, they're saying, don't forget to bring up May the 4th be with you, because it's May the 4th. And I love Star Wars. I saw Star Wars, the actual original Star Wars, when I was 13 in a movie theater. So that's how old I am, right? And I remember walking out of there going, yes, the force is with me. The force is, that's literally what they want to bring up at the moment. The force is within each and every one of us. There is nobody more special than you. You are the special one in your creation of your reality and how you perceive your universe and how you perceive your world, how you perceive your family, how you perceive yourself. It is all you. So May the 4th be with you. May the force be with you because you're the one that's taking that. Also, they're saying, don't forget to bring up tomorrow is 555. It is the 5th of the 5th and 23. I know it's 223, but there's like a 555 porthole opening up, which is to do with stepping into adventure, stepping into this new world, shaking our life up. What do we want to do that's different? Can we change our life in even the smallest way? Like wake up and do something different. Go to a different room in your house and sit down in the sun or something. Go explore different parts of your town and things like that. Try something new. That's really important in the moment because they want us to shake up our story, even in an action way, like an outside way as well. Also, they're saying that there's an eclipse happening. So there's so much openings, and we are in the middle of 2 eclipses. I think there's a solar eclipse and a moon eclipse or something. There's 2 eclipses happening as well. And so we're right in the middle of it. So it's almost like that breaking up bit, that breaking up of our stories. What story do we want to shatter now? What story do we want to let go of now? Because it's not serving us and it's just bringing up old garbage for us to regurgitate. And do we really want to keep on eating and regurgitating that same old story that we really don't like? It takes a strength within oneself to go no to a certain story and to carve or see or project. They're saying it's not projection as in projecting. It is in a way projecting because we have to imagine that story first before our logical mind says, yes, I can ground it. But even in projections, if we want to actually project it out there, we're still, to ground it, we have to do the action to ground it. In the end, something has to change. Your story, your life, the way you perceive yourself, the way you perceive other people. It has to change, and that in itself is peeling away the layers of the program pulled over our eyes that that's no longer going to serve us in these new vibrations, and then we start to feel our way through into that new earth again, like I titled this. Yeah, it is change, Laura. So yeah, powerful energies at the moment to shift stories that are unwanted. They are bringing me to the fact that when I did do a vision quest and I was allowed to go into the new earth in this vision quest, when I was there, a little Pleiadian boy was showing me these fish coming through the stream, which is the corpus callosum between the two hemispheres of the brain, and they represented stories. And even though they were dying, they were literally dead as they were going underneath that corpus callosum bridge. When they were dying, he put his hand out and he shifted them. He changed the story. And that's literally what we have to do. We literally have to make a pause in ourselves. Pause for a moment. Breathe. And then take a deep breath and go, right, I am going to shift this story. I don't like the outcome. I've seen the outcome. It doesn't suit my vibrational me anymore. And what am I shifting it to? Oh my God, I really desire this outcome. This outcome looks beautiful. You know, I can see myself arising in the business sector that I really want. I can see myself journeying through this life with my family, you know, arm in arm, and soul tribes coming in, or people coming into my life that meet this and want to help, and I want to help them, and just imagine this beautiful scenario. Or I want to open up more gifts. I want to become more telepathic and find the wisdom within myself. I want to feel that. Sometimes it is in that the questioning of things, or asking of things into our reality, that it actually brings those things in more, because we are sending a vibration out of curiosity, and humans have this brilliant gift called curiosity, and it's what shifts us many times. That's why we can go through such turmoil and still come out the other end and breathe and go, wow, I feel better about myself for even going through the turmoil. So that curiosity is like setting a fire or a spark out to this world, or out to your world, because it's your world that you're creating here, out to your world, a fire or a spark out there to say to the universe, or your universal world, meet me at that place, bend to this outcome, not to the old story that doesn't serve me and makes me feel worse about myself, or makes me have to go through more trauma. Not to that story. Let it go. And at the moment, sometimes these stories might come up for you to feel into them again. And then you will get this fright of, oh my God, is it going to happen again? No. And then you're like, hang on a sec. I'm creating my reality. I'm not doing this anymore. They're also bringing up the story of when I first went into creating my own reality, when I started to realize that I could create my own reality. This is a beautiful story. So I was camping in my favorite spot where there's a stream, and on the other side of the stream there is this beautiful field where the cows roam. There was no cows in this field at this day, and there was one single tree that kind of looks dead in the middle of this massive paddock. And I'm talking like, you know, a few acres. So I'm wandering over the other side of the stream, and I'm wandering through this field, and I'm going, wow, hang on a sec. If I'm creator of my reality, and I have been going through this training, they have been training me how to still my mind, even for, you know, a few seconds, or, you know, just a moment, enough. And I thought, I can still my mind enough. If I can still my mind enough, then I should be able to manifest something that my logical brain will at least allow into my reality that is pretty out there, right? I should be able to do this. So I'm walking around this big paddock and I'm like formulating this plan of how I'm going to convince myself that I am creator of my own reality. And I got to a point where I'm like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to, because I hadn't seen any four-leaf clovers around. And I went, four-leaf clover could be around. So then my logical brain could say, okay, well, it could be around. There's the grounding. I am just going to not look where I'm sitting. I'm going to plonk myself just in this field with my eyes closed, and I'm not going to look, but I am going to still my mind and have this intention that a four-leaf clover is going to be picked. I'm going to pick a four-leaf clover. And so I sat in the middle of this field with my eyes closed. I didn't look around me at all. And I stilled my mind, and then I just picked what I could have been a blade of grass, just picked something. And I opened my eyes, and here's this freaking four-leaf clover. And I'm like, you are kidding me, right? You're kidding me. And I looked around, there was no other four-leaf clovers. They were all three-leaf clovers. I picked a four-leaf clover after I still my mind enough. So this is how we're shifting. The reflection of our reality is constantly reflecting our fears, our insights, our desires. It's constantly reflecting that. We are literally stepping into the world, not of your actions are important, but your thoughts are important. We're literally stepping into our thoughts and how we feel about ourselves and how we perceive our world is important. When we start perceiving our world through the eyes of love comes back. When we start perceiving the world through the eyes of fear comes back. There's an entanglement with every member of your family, with everyone that is in your reality. There's an entanglement with you and a thought and a thought and a thought. They are representing all these different thoughts that you have within yourself. And that's why when you say, I am going to support myself, when I started to support my own artwork, for the first time in my life, because my parents, like, I just felt like everyone was putting me down constantly. That's what I felt. And when I decided to take the reins and say, my artwork is good, for the first time in my life, I had a mother of my daughter come up to me and say, wow, your artwork's good. First time I've ever heard that. So this is the reflection that we have. And everyone in our reality is like reflecting a thought or desire or negative thought of how we feel about ourselves. And that's why they say to bring it back into the inner world, into the inner self, of feeling our way into this new earth, feeling our way into this. And also to remember with the interdimensional gateways opening up, we have two sides of our brain. When they work together, we are opening up the pineal gland, which opens up many gateways, many possibilities. It expands our reality past this story into other consciousnesses that are already existing, but can never tangibly be felt or seen or experienced until we come from love for ourselves, both sides, logical and intuitive, feminine, masculine, all of that, night, day, whatever it is. When we start to love all aspects of self, we start to see our world as that as well, as that love as well. And that expands our awareness out further, because then we can open up the pineal gland, which I did go into depth of how that actually happens in my last class in the interdimensional gateway class. So yeah, oh my gosh, it's really cool. Scorpio full moon, yeah. My partner's a Scorpio. I love them so much. Okay. Yeah, I've got so many of those stories, Sky. My life has been one very strange story after another. Like, I've lived on the edge of this world. I literally drew a picture of myself as a tree on the edge of a cliff with these roots hanging on, and I was really strong, but I'm always on the edge of this reality and the next. And it's done me so well because I've been able to foresee many things that are coming in my own personal life. But some things that were blocked, I never saw coming, right? There are those blockages just like normal people, anyone else. But someone has to, ignite the spark first within themselves because I have the same brain, I have the same body as everybody else out there, right? Okay, I have an extra bit of a liver. Apparently, I have 2 livers. Anyways, don't even know why I brought that up. Interesting. So, I see what else they've got to come through, though, whether there's something else for us to discuss at the moment. I think they're really saying that they've discussed quite a bit. Ancient history is coming up. Ancient history and stories of ancient times is going to be developing even more so now. There's a lot more of us than we realize. There's a lot more of us starting to understand and channel through information, be telepathic and all that than we realize. It's just that many of us who are doing it are still getting used to the vibration, are still getting used to it. And so we're not like, many of us won't be speaking it out. We'll have these aha moments and we might put, some sort of message up on Facebook or something, but we won't, it's not like there's this great big marching band going down in the world going, we are waking up to our intuition and our gut and our soul. It's not, that's an ego thing, right? That's where it's more of a quiet whisperer of ourselves doing this and going through this and feeling into it and seeing what works and what doesn't. But the alignment is absolute, and the alignment will be happening, and there will be many falling away from your reality that doesn't suit what you're creating. It is an absolute. And I know that 100% anyway, because they showed me the potential of humanity many years ago. I woke up in that reality, and it is still, my mind was still, and we had all these gifts, and there is no, once you start to take your gifts back, there is no control. It's really incredible too how they're saying that in the animal world, they actually have, many of these animals have these gifts anyway, but you can't dissect an animal and see that gift. It is something that has to be felt by the experience of the animal or the human or whatever it is. But many of them already have that understanding, that connection to all as life, and then they're perceiving their world through the program of the animal that they're going on that journey. But they have these abilities to be able to telepathically communicate with each other, have an understanding of where food source is, fly in formation together and as one. Schools of fish do it as well. Have an understanding of a vibrational meet where their voice is meeting, or their harmony, or their sound of their voice, wolves howling, the song of the whales, they have a vibrational meet that feeds through more wisdom so that they can live in this avatar, in this body, on this earth, in bliss. We're the ones that have been missing out. Humanity's been missing out because we've gone on this journey of learning all about the logical side of ourselves. grandiose journey, and kudos to everyone who's gone on that journey. It's massive, it's huge, and it's a lot of lessons to learn, but it is a disconnection, and we're going to find that when we are connected back again, that, oh my gosh, insects and birds and everything, they actually had these understandings of flipping in and out of portals into different vibrations to be able to save them, and so much more going on than what humanity thinks, as in logically thinks. So much vastness of what we can bring into this world. I love it. I love it. I love it. The weather on the future Earth. Okay, well, it's interesting. The weather, I know the colors were way more vibrant. There was vibrant colors, like everything had a feeling of light to it. It's like it was beautiful. When I went there, it was just clear blue sky. I didn't see the sun. I just saw everything looking brilliant and blue and gorgeous. The temperature suited each individual person, because each individual person literally created their own atmosphere to suit their needs. So you didn't need to worry about that so much, although you could have an adventure of going into the cold, or adventure of feeling into that physically, but you didn't need to. There's just so much more that's coming our way. Why would I be hesitant to open up to receive my gifts? Well, many of us are actually, JD, many of us are actually scared of what that's going to look like to everybody else out in our world, because we're constantly being told that we have to fit into society, into our family, into a meet of everybody else's expectations. And if we start to shine our light, our unique crazy side might come out, right? And that means that we might not fit into the world of that limitation anymore. So we do have this pullback of how we're going to move into it. But they said to me, just keep watching people that are doing things that you really love, aspire to be like. Just keep watching or seeing or observing that on YouTube or wherever you can find them. So yeah, and then you'll start to more synchronize with their world instead, and how they're feeling good about themselves in the world that you aspire to be in. Because we are scared of our light, our logical brain is always in protective mode of trying to fit into the majority, and we've been programmed that way to do that, so that we can be easily controlled as well. So just be aware of that. Yes, we do have to, when we're born into this world, no matter whether we're in a higher vibrational me or not, there's an avatar, a body, a skin, a separation. There is all of this tangible stuff, and there is family members and that you're born into, and yes, they in the blessings of these higher vibrations, though, they know that their role is as a guide, not as somebody who tries to control the child and control them into a limited world. It's just a parent is meant to be a guide of allowing an openness for a child to bring in their energy and explore it, and then the parent will also learn off them, but they're also teaching them the limitations of the physical world. So parents should be teaching children the limitations of physical world, as in if you put unless you're going to vibrationally meet the fire, you will burn yourself. So there is you know, there is certain limitations that are held in the logical brain for good measure, so that we have a separated world. Yeah. Hey, Katie, good to see you here. 44444. I just saw that on the clock then. So yeah, massive new energies, new messages, alignment with benevolent beings coming in through 44444 messages. I love that. So please open your mind and your heart to feeling your way through this. Keep constantly looking, bringing things back, pointing the finger back at yourself when something goes wrong first. It could be that you're just allowing someone to be dominating over you and you need to be more assertive. It could be that you are trying to control your outside world because you're afraid of, if you don't, then things won't go the way that you want them to logically. So we need to look at that majorly. But yeah. Okay. So, any case, I think I will leave it there. Yeah. They're saying there's an energy well for spirit to enter. There's an energy well for spirit to enter through the waters, through the water that's held within or in our bodies. That's an interesting message. Okay, guys. Oh, just got a bit dizzy then. Okay. Love you guys heaps. Don't forget I do free chat bar readings and tarot readings on Tuesday because I love it and it's fun. And so I do that for everyone for free. And also I am an intuitive counselor. My link's down below. I have a new class coming up, and that is all to do with the mysterious world of the elementals, the fae folk, the gnomes, and all that sort of stuff. And my name is Nanahi, Alana Nanahi. Nanahi in Cherokee actually means fairy or fae. And I am apparently, by the elder that was talking to me, creator of that world. So I do know a fair whack about it, and I have had interaction with them. So it'd be a really interesting class to see what comes through and what channel messages come through as well with them, as well as, yeah, there's some really cool, fun things that you guys are going to love in that class. If you're interested, it's only $20 if you're interested in that. And the links are also under my codestoanewreality.com. So join up. Love you guys heaps. Okay, bye.